Okay, so I'm having to redo this because I had the mic right up to my face and it did not sound good. Oops. Got my Taylor Swift cup. My theater has a lot of these, so. Josh O'Connor, Mike Feist, I hope I'm saying that right, and Zendaya in Luca Guadagnino's Challengers. Now, I love Luca Guadagnino. He's one of my favorite working directors. He's brilliant. I think his films are great. If you don't know who that is, he also did Suspiria, the remake, Call Me By Your Name and Bones and All. And he also has two more films that I have not seen, and I think he actually has more than just two, but those are the ones that I'm going to watch. And he also has another film coming out this year with Daniel Craig, so that's great. And I actually think it's from the same screenwriter that did Challengers. Now, when I first saw the trailers for Challengers, I was like, okay, this is a Luca Guadagnino film. I'm going to see it. That was it. I just knew that it was probably going to be a good film, and I was going to roll with it. I did not expect how good it was going to be because this is my favorite film of the year so far. Yes, it really, really is. And it might not be for everybody, and it's definitely not for everybody. And I'm going to go ahead, I might talk about just a little bit of why that might be, but I just want to start off just talking positively about the film. One thing that I'm going to say, and I'm going to say it right off the bat, because this is not just the best editing I've seen all year or in the last couple of years. This is some of the best editing I think I've ever seen in a film ever. And I usually don't say that, like about, oh, well, this is the greatest thing I've seen in a film ever, besides when I was, talking about Zone of Interest. But Challengers is just a really fucking good movie. It just hits everything. It nails everything that it's trying to achieve. The editing is just amazing. It's downright suspenseful. It's impressive, to say the least. The soundtrack was very intense. I could see a couple of people getting pretty upset with the soundtrack just because there were a few people in my theater that every single time the music was coming on, they were like, but I didn't. I was like, and I'm not kidding. When I was watching the film, I was like this in my seat at the end. It's so good. It's so good. And with the editing aside, the cinematography is great, but the editing is really good. Really, really, really good. This is actually going to be one of those moments where I say, no, I'm actually not going to say it, but it's a fantastic film. It really is. I also really appreciated how Luca Guadagnino does not hold your hand in this. There's a specific scene towards the end, which I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to spoil anything. And something happens. And I don't think anybody else in my theater picked up on it. But I did. And my friend next to me did. And it was so satisfying to see that because I thought it was going to happen. And I was like, if that happens, that's intense. I'm excited. And it did happen. And I was really happy. Sip on my Taylor Swift straw cup, whatever. And it's just a wild ride. It's actually towed in non-chronological order, so if you're not a fan of that's where I sort of get into the, okay, you might not like this film because it might be hard to follow at times, or some of the scenes might be slow because the pacing does slow down a lot during certain scenes, but it wasn't in a bad way, like for me at least. Like I didn't have an issue with that. It was more so just sort of to help the story out and to help with some of the suspense, because the film itself, it's funny, it's tense. There were actually, believe it or not, there were a few jump scares just with the sound and some of the visuals. Like, let me tell you, it is by far the most intense tennis matches I've ever seen. I would even say that the tennis matches are probably more intense than King Richard. I think I'll just go ahead and say that now. But Challengers is an amazing film. You should definitely see it. See it in a theater because the tennis matches alone are just extremely, extremely intense. I love Challengers. I loved everything that it did. And it's probably my favorite Luca Guadagnino film so far. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. If you guys want to check out my short film, The Interview, or Percival and Lewis Talk About Employment, you can down in the description below. It would mean a lot to me if you did check it out. Also, if you guys want to watch the trailer for Pesadilla or my teaser trailer for my short film 2, you can also do that. Links down in the description below. But anyway, let me know what you thought of Challengers or what your favorite Luca Guadagnino film is. And I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe.